Hi guys, and welcome to Takeover Tuesday.
I'm Peju.
And I'm Christiana.
And we are from Evented. So, first question.
Yes, first question. What is Evented, and what is the business concept, and when did you establish your business?
Okay, so Evented is an event management and production company. So we deal with event planning, coordination, we're looking to start doing event styling as well.
Watch out.
Yeah, so we do different events, so from weddings to conferences, fashion shows, pop-up events,
any event.
Yeah,
literally.
essentially, yeah. So producing the event from conception all the way to delivery. We also have different packages and services depending on what people want, because some people actually want to plan their own event and just want us to run it for them. So yeah, when did the business start?
I mean, it started in like 2013, but officially we launched in 2016 and joined together. Do I have to give background story?
It's long. Yeah, so yeah. What else was the question?
It's you kind of answered it. I asked about your partnership, like how did you start your partnership?
Oh, okay, so she begged me.
No, I didn't, you little heifer.
She begged me, she's like, oh Pedro, please join forces with me because you are so brilliant. No, what happened? You didn't beg me.
I didn't beg you. I
asked
put it out there for you, since we had conversations about events and it was very similar. So what I had planned or had done, she was also doing in different like organisation. But like a few people had pitched to want to join with Evented, but I didn't want anyone that wouldn't be as passionate as I was about events. So Pedro was the person, and I did not beg her, I asked her.
Yeah, so because obviously we've both been doing events for a while, and we were doing kind of similar things, but we didn't actually we were working for other people essentially. And then Chrissy brought the idea to me. I was like, okay, I know I love you, but let me pray about this first.
Name 4 things that you believe are important to the success of a business.
Ooh. Passion is number 1. I feel like if you don't have passion on what you're doing, then you can be easily demotivated when it comes to pushing yourself to do anything related to your business. What else would you say?
You have to have vision. And it has to be very, very clear what your vision is, because otherwise you would just keep doing so many different things. You would derail from your own thing, because you also have to know what distinguishes you from other people.
Yeah, even if you have the same business.
And keep that vision at the back of your mind. But also when you're bringing people on board, even if it's to partner, or even if it's just to work for you as employees, they have to also buy into that vision. Otherwise they would not be able to help you get to that point of success. Another very important thing will be resilience or perseverance. If you are not resilient, your business will not be successful, and that's because you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have times where you might not even feel like going to the office or feel like doing anything, or even just posting something on social media. It does get like that, but you actually have to be resilient and just keep pushing. And I guess that also ties in with the passion and the vision, because then you remember that this is something that I am passionate about. Even though I don't feel like it today, I'm going to keep going. Or even though the clients aren't booking at the moment, I'm going to keep trying to do what I need to do to get it to that next level.
And I always say, like, when people think of a business, you've had the idea because you are capable of doing it. It doesn't come to everyone, so just keep going. And then I'd say that the last one is just, I think, the hunger of like to keep going as well, like just you having to research out in the market as to what other people are doing, how you can be different. Even though a million people are still doing the same business, it doesn't matter what anyone is doing, but when you have the hunger to want to learn more or be creative or just bring new ideas to then attract people to you, it keeps you going. So those 4 things.
I think this question is kind of a follow-up question from what you said. In terms of your vision, did you guys have that conversation in the beginning? Did you kind of sit down and think about what the vision for the business
that was so important. Absolutely. Even before deciding to partner together, we had to make sure that our vision for the business was aligned.
If they weren't, then it was never going to work.
Exactly.
Because some people can say that they're passionate about certain things, but then it's like, if they don't have the vision for a wider scale as to where they want to be in like 5 years, then it's just like, okay, you're going to be stagnant in your business, and there's not going to be any progression, so you can't complain. Like even example, Pedro wanted to have a set amount of numbers for how many events we do a year. I mean, my number was low, hers was quite high, and I was just like, but you know, it's something that if she didn't have that mindset, then I could have stayed somewhere where it wouldn't have just helped the business grow, and we met the numbers.
Yeah, the thing is, if we didn't share the same vision, we couldn't work together. Like it wouldn't work. We would continue to clash because one person wants to go in one direction, the other person wants to go in another direction. So it was very important for us to have a vision, the same vision. But also we do revision in terms of, you know, okay, every year, what are we still on the same path? Is this still what we want to do? Do we want to expand this? Do we want to add to this? Do we, you know, has our vision changed? Has it been altered slightly as we have evolved as well? So I think it's also important to always revisit that vision and see if you're still in line with that, or if that's still something you want to do, or if you want to build on it.
And I feel like honesty as well, if you have a business partner, is very, very key. Like, I don't think we shy away from saying anything. There's times where we might not agree on certain things, but then we're like, let's compromise, or let's see how it goes. If we tried the idea, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but we've tried it. But it's always making sure that you're honest with your partner or whoever you work with, as they would appreciate it a lot more as well.
Yeah.
She
said. The next question is, did you face any challenges at the beginning of your journey, and if so, how did you overcome them?
Yeah, we did.
We're not gonna say that.
Yeah, I mean, everyone will face challenges depending on your business and whoever you are working with. But with us, I mean, we faced some. We won't speak about it, but yeah, it's always going to happen. But I think in that position is how you then overcome what has happened. For us, I feel like our mistakes happened very early on in our business, and it was also a prayer for us as to who we should be working with and who we didn't want to work with necessarily, like based on what they do or certain things. So it literally just depends. I guess it's a prayer if you're...
No, but I could give an example of the type of, like, we've had some challenges in terms of, okay, attracting the right clients, for example. That was one challenge in the beginning. What do you mean by in terms of, okay, so this is our vision for our business, and these are the type of people that we want to attract. So in terms of, we then had to realize, okay, how do we kind of get to that point? How do we position ourselves rightly to be attractive to those people? So that was one challenge that we kind of faced. I guess we had to reevaluate, we had to reset, but we also kind of spoke to people, because I remember there was someone was doing like an online webinar where she was talking about that, and you know, that was also part of research and learning. So I guess if you are facing a challenge, then it's about how do you deal with it, like Christy said. Another challenge that we faced was in terms of hiring employees. That was not easy.
We're very picky.
But even finding trustworthy people, or people that have the same drive and are as hardworking. So obviously in the beginning stages, some of our friends and family did help us out because they bought into that vision. But in terms of finding the right staff members, that was not an easy journey. But you know, thankfully
you always have to keep believing that it would happen. So yeah.
Okay. And looking back on your journey,
why, oh why, Lord, is this girl like this?
What is the one piece of advice that you would give your younger business self?
I would say, okay, from starting Evented, I always felt like the capital needed to be there. Depending on what your business is, there's literally work with what you have. Having something small compared to having everything, there's a difference. But if you start with what you have, you can always work on it, and just keep going. Make sure that you're motivated. And I always say, maybe tell like your closest friends or family as to what you're trying to get to or what you're trying to achieve, because you never know who anyone knows. I was quite secretive about Evented at the start. I didn't want anyone knowing that I had any associations with it, but for clients, it kind of needed to, we had to be the face of it, because that's what actually sells our business and that's what people buy into. So work with what you have. Let people know, like the people who I told years ago, they're like, oh, how's your business? And like, it's weird. Like when I hear people asking me, I'm just like, oh, and they're like, you actually did it. You know, it's not something that I've just said for the sake of it and not actually implemented it. So that's a positive element.
But even with saying that, some of our clients have actually been like friends.
Yes.
So like us hiding it didn't kind of make sense.
Yeah.
Just because we wanted to be behind the scenes.
And write all your ideas down. Literally, don't rush anything as well. Like even the name, it took me ages to find. Like it's just, it doesn't come to you when you're sat down and just like, okay, I'm going to write a business plan. Everything's going to be there. Like have like a little notebook that you carry. I think the name came to me on a bus. And I wrote it down and that was that, and it was like months later. Write everything down, write what you're trying to achieve within 3 months, 6 months, a year, and keep going. And when you see it back, then you'll be like, oh wow, I wrote this down and I've actually done it. So it's a good like reminder as to what you're doing progress wise. What would you say?
One thing I would say is focus. And when I say and this is something that I've been told over the years and I'm only just realizing now, is that it's great to have so many different ideas and so many different things you want to do, but when you're first starting out, focus on the one thing that sets you apart from everybody else. And don't try and do too many things. And even in terms of the services you offer, if you're just starting out, sometimes it's best to focus on the one, build that, get that to a certain level where your skill set or your brand is actually well known for that, and then you can start adding other things on. Because what I have found is when you're trying to do so many different things, some things are neglected, or you could potentially be average on everything as opposed to excellent in in that thing. So master that one thing first. I would say focus on that one thing, give it your all, your full dedication, build it to a certain level where you have this a system in place where even if you're not there, for example, it can work without you being there, so that you can then focus on other things. So,
and take your time.
Yeah, that's another thing. Don't rush, because also we tend to think, oh, like at this in the next 3 years this is where this should be, and blah blah blah, so we put so much pressure on ourselves. But actually everybody's journey is different. Everyone's business journey is different, and really and truly it could only take that one client or that one post that would then take you to the next level. Definitely. So don't watch what other people are doing, because that can actually discourage you. Especially in this age of social media, it can be very, very discouraging or disheartening, but you don't even realize what that person might be thinking about your work, for example, or how many years they've invested in it to get to that point, and you're thinking, well, I've been doing this for 5 years now, but they've probably invested 20 years and now they're at a point where that's what it is. So honestly,
take your time.
Did you need a large amount of capital to start your business? If so, like how did you acquire it?
We didn't, because we're in the services business, so we didn't need that much. Obviously, there's certain things you have to invest in, like a website, your logo, when it comes to branding, for example, badges, etc. But you don't need a large amount of capital.
But it's dependent on the business
it is definitely. That's what I was saying, because if for example what you're doing is product related, you will need a certain amount of capital to then be able to purchase that product, or to invest, or to even just buy testers and stuff like that. So it does depend on the type of business that you want to start. In the services business, I will probably say start with what you have. So even if you want to start photography, for example, I guess the main thing is you get a camera, and then you start building on that. You don't have to get the most expensive camera, get something that's good quality, and then as your business grows and develops, you then invest into more things, different lenses, etc. But a lot of the time we stop ourselves from doing certain things because we feel like, well, I don't have enough money. But even with that being said, start saving. If that's the case, you can withhold getting certain things that you don't actually need but you want, and save a certain amount every month towards that business, because it's an investment at the end of the day.
Even your birthdays, don't be asking for like presents. Ask for people to like chip
to invest in your business.
Save it.
Absolutely.
Like, it's very important.
Definitely. And then also there's actually funding available for people, so it's also something that you should look into. There is funding available if
there's
you do
Princess
need capital.
Trust.
There's quite a few things there, and there are people who actually genuinely want to invest in good businesses and good business ideas as well.
So